What is good, YouTube family? I already know it's been a minute. I already know y'all probably like, man, where the fuck you been at? I'm just saying it's been a pretty hectic 6 months, I'll tell you that. And I'll break the whole shit down to you. But, obviously, as you could tell, you look on my YouTube, my last upload was 6 months ago, so back early March, out on the mountain and shit. And then my last video I made like this was another 3 months prior to that, so like 9 months total since I've sat here and talked to y'all like this, which is crazy, and that's my fault. But like I said, it's been a very hectic past few months, and I'm gonna break it all down for you. So if you don't follow me on social media or anything like that, then this is gonna be all new to you. But all my friends and family already know all this. But back in mid-March, March 23rd to be exact, of this year, I was out on the mountain enjoying my time. As always, as you can see from the videos, I was going crazy, and I was up a lot more at the mountain than videos I have uploaded. So I only have maybe 4 or 5 videos uploaded snowboarding, but I was up there damn near every weekend this season, from November all the way up until I hurt myself, and that's what's coming next. So yeah, man, mid-March I ended up blowing out my shoulder, something serious too. When I tell you, man, I've never felt anything like this pain or how that day felt. I've never experienced anything like that, bro. So what happened was, I'm coming down one of the runs, and I was getting real good this year too. I was getting too good for my own good, But yeah, so I'm doing a little nose roll type thing, which also incorporates your hands dragging on the ground too. So the best way I could explain it for you to picture it in your head, it would be so I snowboard with my right foot leading in front of me. So picture turning the board around backwards, and now I'm in almost like a push-up position. That's the best way I could put it. And I have my front foot, the nose of my board in the snow, both hands in the snow, and I'm moving backwards now. So I was doing that, and there's 2 ways you can get out of doing that. You could either go back to your toes, like how you initiate it on your toe edge, or you can whip it all the way around and go to your heels and stand up and ride away. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to bring it all the way around to my heels, and the trick is called the tripod, by the way. So if you want a better visual representation, just go on YouTube after you watch this, or right now if you need to, and just type in snowboard tripod, and you'll get the gist. So doing that, and what's crazy is the whole day, man, I was doing it fine, bringing it all the way around to my heels, standing up, riding away. So it was probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm trying it again, and I end up falling. But so this is obviously my left arm, so just because it's closer to the camera, I can show you. I fall with my arm all the way back here, but it cranked way far back than it should have. And when I did it, I was like, ooh, that felt kind of crazy. So, and at that moment, it didn't, it hurt. Don't get me wrong, it hurt, but it wasn't excruciating. It definitely hurt enough for me to be all right, let me go sit down for an hour, grab some food, have me a little smoke break and all that. And at that time, I should have been done for the day. I really should have been done for the day, and that's why I fucked up, honestly. Because at that point, all it felt like was I hyperextended my shoulder. And at that moment in time, my range of motion was already gone. It was gone. So this is where I fucked up. I went back out. Man. And I was like, shit, I got 2 hours left until the mountain closes, so I'm just get some chill runs in. So I go back out. Just cruising, not doing anything crazy. I couldn't move my arm, really, I just had it up like this basically the whole time. And yeah, and then I fell again, bro. I fell on again, nothing crazy, but on my stomach and with my arms out like an airplane, like that. And as soon as my front, like the front side of my body touched the ground and this fully extended out, this is my bad shoulder right here, I felt the pop, I felt a tear, and I felt a burning like I've never felt in my life, bro. Let me tell you, it felt like somebody like just doused my shoulder in gasoline and just lit it on fire. It hurt so bad, man. I've never felt anything like that. Like, please heed the weight of my words. I'll tell you, I've never felt any pain like that ever in my life. I wasn't crying, I wasn't screaming or nothing like that. I was already at the bottom of the run, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't that far from the lift. And as soon as I touched down, you know what I'm saying, I got up on my knees, I had my head in the snow, and I was just holding my shoulder, and my arm was just at the side, just dead. Couldn't move it, couldn't do anything. It was just, man. So that really sucked. And on top of that, bro, I had I took a shuttle up to the mountain. So I wouldn't really drive. I have driven up there, but they had a shuttle service that would take you from the valley area down in Phoenix area and bring you up to Flagstaff, which is where Snowball is. So I get back, you know, after I hurt myself again, I was done. Go back to the bus, gear down. It was probably like an hour left until the mountain was closed, so I took all my gear off. Like, couldn't move this arm, so it was just hanging on the side the whole time. I had to ride this bus back another 2.5 hours, shoulder on fire, feeling every single bump and everything, the entire ride. It was just, man. And then, so then we get back to the drop-off location, get back in the car. I gotta drive another 30 minutes back to the house, get back home. Told my girl, mind you, I'm telling her like everything that's going on while it's all happening too. So she knew the first time I hurt myself and when I went in to sit down. Then I told her again when I fell again, and I was just texted her. I'm like, yo, I just made it like 10 times worse. And so yeah, I get back to the house. You know, I told my girl, I was like, hey, I need to go to the hospital. Like, I need to go to see somebody for this because I couldn't move my arm, bro. So go to the doctor. They give me an x-ray and all that. They didn't find anything. So they gave me a sling and recommended me to another doctor. So a few days later, I go see another doctor, and they basically said the same thing. They didn't find anything in my x-rays. So at this point, I was like pretty pissed. So the lady, and when I saw the doctor the second time, the lady, she could tell that I was like pissed off because I'm like I can't move my arm. Like, it's not working. So something is wrong, and y'all are sitting here telling me that nothing is wrong. So that was that. And then, so she ended up recommending me to like a sports physician, like somebody who specializes in like shoulders and wrists and all that. So they recommended me there, and he took a look at my x-rays, and he found so I'm gonna tell you what the injuries were. So he found a piece of my socket from my shoulder. You know, it's like a ball and socket. So he found a piece, basically a fragmented piece of my socket that was like hanging out. So it was like chipped off, basically. So I had a socket fracture. And then I had to get an MRI as well. And with the MRI, they found like a labral tear. So if you don't know what your labrum is cartilage that goes around the ball and socket in your shoulder to give it stability and hold it in place so it won't feel like it's like dislocating. So, and that's all I was feeling. It would just feel like my arm was gonna fall out because my labrum was torn. So I had no stability in my shoulder. Couldn't lift anything, you know. So, long story short, ended up getting recommended to a surgeon. surgeon told me I had to have surgery. So I ended up having surgery a few weeks later, back in April. And I was out of work for 6 weeks. So from like the middle of April and the entire month of May, I was out of work. Didn't go back until June. So that like sucked too, you know, having to sleep with a sling on. I couldn't take the sling off after my surgery. I had to wear it for 2 weeks straight before I had my first follow-up after the surgery. So that was terrible. I had to, my girl and her brother had to bring up a recliner upstairs for me into the room because I had to sleep in a recliner. I couldn't lay down, you know, like lay down on my back because like gravity, it pulls down on your arm, so then your shoulder feels like it's coming out this way. It was just a terrible experience, bro, overall. But what I can say is it was a humbling experience. I've learned so much from it, and I could proudly say that I'm bounced back from it. You know, I finished my physical therapy. I was doing physical therapy for a few months after, and yeah, I'm pretty much bounced back from it. I mean, shit, you can see the scars right there, 1, 2, and then I got another one on the back right there. So really small. It was like a micro surgery, but it was still pretty serious surgery. I had to get bone wired back together, and I had to get metal anchors like placed into my labrum so it'll like fuse back to the bone. Just crazy stuff, man. And mind you, I've never experienced anything like this. I never broken anything, never torn anything. The most I've ever had was like a twisted ankle, you know. So going from like a twisted ankle to a completely blown out shoulder that you need surgery for, man, what an experience, to say the least. I'll tell you that. But yeah, man, so that's what life has been like the past 6 months for me. That's why it hasn't been no uploads. I was really depressed during that time, like after my surgery, and just like, 'cause I couldn't snowboard for the rest of the season, like, so just a shitty but humbling experience. That's the best way I can put it. But yeah, man, more videos coming soon. There's been a lot going on in the world that we need to discuss, so more videos will be coming soon. Until next time, my friends.